Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Iksan. I am a student at the University of West Sulawesi Informatics Engineering. Here I will present the journal I have chosen, entitled A Research Agenda for Augmented and Virtual Reality in Architecture, Engineering, and Construction to fulfill the final assignment for the English course. This journal was created by Juan Manuel Davila Delgado, Lucomen Oidel, Peter Damian, Thomas Beach, and published in 2020. Before answering the research method, I will discuss a little about the introduction of AR and VR. Augmented reality, or AR, is an ancient version of the real physical world that is achieved through the use of digital visual elements, sounds, or other sensory stimuli delivered via technology. Virtual reality is a technology that allows you to interact with a 3D dimensional environment that is simulated by a computer against a real object or imagination. Research method. The research was conducted with the aim of researching the use of AR and VR in architecture, engineering, and constructions. FusionTech were organized a series of exploratory workshops and quantitative instruments to collect data on the actual use of AR and VR in practice. A literature review was conducted to identify recent research efforts. Data from the source above were used to develop and characterize use case and to define a research agenda specific of the AEC sectors. To gain a broad understanding of the AR and VR landscape in the MAI sectors, a multidisciplinary group of experts was invited to participate in an exploratory workshop. A combination of qualitative and quantitative data collection and analysis method was used, as they were found to be more effective way to analyzing complex systems. The main part of the research method, namely qualitative and quantitative analysis, and three research results, namely use case, adoption rates, and research agenda. Qualitative analysis. During the exploratory workshop, four focus group discussions or FGD with experts from academia, construction companies, engineering consultants, design and technology development companies. Company conducted in the qualitative part of the study. The FGDs were used to identify and characterize the main use case of AR and VR currently being used in the AEC sectors, the main benefits and challenges of using AR and VR, and gaps current and research capabilities. Quantitative analysis. A, a questionnaire was developed to measure the general level of adoption of the AEC sectors and the specific use case identified and qualitative section of the study. The questionnaire was pilot tested by six experts, four from industry and two from academia, to ensure clarity of questions and the structure and logic of the questionnaire. After analyzing the papers generated from the literature survey and six use cases were defined by relaying the information participants provide about how AR and VR were used in practice and research gathered from literature. A longitudinal approach in the literature survey was taken to provide a broad overview of the use case rather than a complete survey. Finally, the challenge is structured by combining the issues raised by the participants and the issues reported in the literature. Sampling technique. AR and VR can be used to engage with potential clients of with the public to provide a more realistic representations of the assets being built and to generate more relevant or informative feedback. AR and VR representations can give consumers the opportunity to better examine built-in assets at real scale in immersive environments and provide better understanding that image or videos. For example, having a better understanding of the final product will contribute to align stakeholder expectations with the actual design. AR and VR approach to stakeholder engagement are the most widely used and easier to implement use case. Sample. Sample, in the case of AR, this technology is more suitable for visualization, renovation, and retrofit work, as it combines real environment with virtual object. Research investigate the existing AR challenges for implementing project tracking and present a system that can visualize future intervention on a construction site. AR has also been used to support virtual tours and browsing of sites. For example, Kim et al. Presented an AR system to enrich cultural heritage tourism by overlaying virtual objects on cultural sites. Ten and Lim introduced an AR virtual tour system to enhance the experience of exploring historical sites. Andrew et al. Presented a system to support campus tourism using AR. VR example. Bergham fans evaluated the effects of using VR for design review by conducting a study with manufacturing engineers to carry out design review in a projection-based VR environment. The system enabled the participants to view and interact with the geometry and real scale. The authors reported that the participants gained a better understanding of the spatial relationship between products, components, as well as the instruction required to assemble the product. Research finding. Multimodal human computer interaction, or HCI. Multimodal HCI refers to a system that allows multiple modalities to be used as inputs or outputs, including vision, auditions, haptics, gestations, olfactions, thermoception, nociception, and equilibrioception. The potential of haptics and multisensory feedback to improve AR and VR system has been investigated for many engineering applications such as machine teleportation. Investigating how passive haptics can be used in a virtual reality cave system to simulate virtual fall hazards. The system monitors the user's risk-taking behavior while performing virtual roof installation tasks. Multisensory user interface for AR and VR systems have been under investigations for some time now. For example, Narumi and friends present an AR system that can change the taste of food that is perceived by changing its appearance and aroma. An air pump mounted on the HMD sprays at the scent in front of the user's nose to simulate various flavors. The authors report that about 80% of people who taste the system noticed a change in taste, but the intensity was modest. Sardo and friends present an AR tablet system that provide users with touch, taste, and smell stimulations to enrich the experience of visiting museum exhibitions. Discussions, limitations. The main limitation of this study is the limited sample of professional and academics consulted. For this study, the study limitation was mitigated by using a highly targeted sampling method to ensure that participants came from different parts of the highly heterogeneous construction sector and participants were experts in the topic covered. Regarding adoption rates, the main limitation is that only UK-based academics and professionals participate in the study. Conclusion. This journal presents a study of the current landscape of AR and VR uses the construction industry. The study utilizes different methods for collecting data, including qualitative and quantitative method, and literature review to produce findings relevant to academia and industry. The main outcomes, as defined by the study objective, were one, definition of the study of the use case in which AR and VR could be used. 2. A general indications of the level of adoption within the industry and per use case. And 3. The sets of research topics need to meet requirement for successful AR and VR implementations. The study also shows that AR and VR are not yet ready for full adoption in the construction industry, and that research and development gaps remain. The study presents a true research agenda that can inform practitioners on how best to prepare for adoption or expand and maximize their implementation's effort. Also, it presents a solid foundational study that sets the direction for the research needed to enable successful adoption in AR and VR in the research industry. That's all I can explain. More or less, please forgive me. I am Muhammad Isan, and this is in the end of my presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.